And I want to say good afternoon to all the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, spiritually and physically. And again, I'm blessed to stand before you on the Lord's Sabbath day.
Happy Sabbath, brother.
And we are going to go ahead and get into this lesson. Now, you know, this is the time of year, this is the time that they call Lent, right? You know, we had Mardi Gras, which is called Fat Tuesday, where you commit all the sin that you can before what they call Good Friday and stuff. So, and they try to equate these things to our Lord and Savior Jesus, the Messiah, or in the Greek, the Christ. They try to equate these things to him and call it Christianity. However, you can't find any of these things in the Holy Scriptures. Now, maybe in some of those new Bibles that they came up with, you might be able to find some of these things. But in the one that we've been using for ages, you can't find this. If you can, take a little bit of this echo off. But you know, I really want to get deep into it, but that would make this a long lesson. So I'm gonna have to do a part 2. But this is a lesson that I do annually, like I do the Truth About Christmas lesson. This lesson is entitled The Deception of Idolatry, because all these images that they use, all these signs, and all these days that they have, these are to deceive you. They put the name of Jesus on it to deceive you. And all the time you are serving a pagan god. You are serving an entity that cannot be God. Because all those pagan gods, they all Satan. They all images of Satan. All of them. That's why some of them, you know, is birds, and some are bulls and stuff like that. Because Satan got 4 faces. He got wings. God don't have wings. Angels got wings. But Satan got wings. Satan is a fallen angel. He's an angel. He's a cherub angel. He got wings. And when you think about all these things that they use to call God, it all look like Satan, some parts of him. But he did all this to deceive you, because you have the ability to become God and he doesn't. He don't like that. It's just like somebody going to school all their life to be a certain thing, and come to find out that because they from a particular group that they can't do it, even though they put all the work in. Well, they're going to be mad, right? Mm-hmm. And they're going to be looking like, well, I want to hurt somebody. But anyway, again, the title of today's lesson is The Deception of Idolatry. But really, it is Easter, a great deception. A great deception. I got to move this over some, man, because it's going to blow my page. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So we're going to start this in the book of Genesis, in the beginning. Genesis, the 10th chapter. Now, I normally have some images for y'all, but I forgot them. But they're going to be on the DVD. Because brother going to pull some up online and add it to the video. Now I need a paperweight. Use that. So Genesis 10, we're going to start at verse 1 and we're going to skip. Genesis 10:1. Go ahead, brother.
Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah.
Now, once Noah got off the ark, him and his 3 sons and their 4 wives, these were the only people living on the whole earth. So it's like a new beginning. It's like another Garden of Eden. But go ahead and read.
Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
Mm-hmm.
And unto them were sons born after the flood.
So after the flood, after they got off the ark, they had children. Skip down to verse 6 and go ahead.
And the sons of Ham, Cush, Mizraim, and Phut, and Canaan.
So this is the one that we're concerned about right here. We're not concerned about Japheth right now. We're not really even concerned about Shem right now. But this is the one right here that all this false doctrine come from. So he said these are the children of Ham, right?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
And the sons of Cush, Seba, and Havilah, and Septah, and Ramah, and Septaka, and the sons of Ramah, Sheba, and Dedan.
Now all these are Hamitic nations, or what we call African nations. Some of these places, some of these things that he just read, you can still find these places on the map. Go ahead.
Verse 8. And Cush begat Nimrod.
Mm-hmm.
He began to be a mighty one in the earth.
So now this Nimrod, this is the one who brought all this what we have, what we call Christianity today. You know, all this paganism, all this idolatry come from this Nimrod. He the first one that decided he was going to be a great ruler in the earth. Go ahead.
He was a mighty hunter before the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord.
Go ahead, my brother.
And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel and Erech.
The beginning of his kingdom was what?
Was Babel.
That is Babylon. But this is where they started this tower at. This the beginning of his kingdom was Babel. So you know that his kingdom, if that was the beginning of it, it was all wrong and all bad. Go ahead, brother.
And Erech and Akkad and Calneh in the land of Shinar.
Go ahead.
Out of that land went forth Ashur and builded Nineveh.
Now Nineveh, that's where the Assyrians come from. They was great great rulers in the earth. They was the biggest rulers before the Gentiles was. People are always talking about Egypt, but the Assyrians, they knocked off way more nations than Egypt did. And they even got some Gentiles and put them in Babylon, and took the real Babylonians out and took them someplace else. Go ahead.
And the city of Rehoboth and Calah, and Rezin between Nineveh and Calah, the same is a great city. And Mizraim begat Ludim, and Anamim, and Lehabim, and Naphtuhim. So
now this Mizraim, this is the father of the Egyptians, or the land of Kemet, if you want to put it in the original language. Go ahead. What verse you at, brother?
Verse 14.
Come on.
And Pathrusim and Cashluhim, out of whom came Philistine.
So the Philistines came out of the Egyptians. Come on.
And Caphtorim. And Canaan begat Sidon, his firstborn, and Heth.
So now, Sidon, this is north of Jerusalem. This is north of Israel, I should say. These are Hamitic people. So when you talk about the Middle East, all that, Egypt and Israel and all those places up there, that was a part of the land of Ham. That was a part of what we call Africa today. The land of Ham. These Canaanites, these Philistines and Sidonians, they came out of Ham. Go ahead.
16. And the Jebusite, and the Amorite, and the Girgasite, and the Hivite, and the Archite, and the Sinite, and the Arvadite, and the Zemarite, and the Hamathite. And afterward were the families of Canaanites spread abroad.
So you even have Hamath in there. You have a whole lot of, if you look in history, a whole lot of great nations came out of Ham. But see, Ham, the father of all these people, he was cursed for looking upon his father's nakedness, and it wasn't like he accidentally looked at him either. So his seed was cursed. That's why they have so much trouble. They not taking out their land and scattered like we are, but they got trouble. They always got to deal with some other nation coming in trying to take over their nation. taking their resources and everything. But hey, it's a curse on these people. Not as grievous as the curse on Israel. That's a grievous curse. That's a grievous curse. But anyway, you done with that?
Verse 19.
All right, go ahead.
And the border of the Canaanites was from Sidon, as thou camest to Gerar, and unto Gaza, as thou goest unto Sodom and Gomorrah.
So now we see that the border of the Canaanites, it go from Sidon, which is even it's up there by Assyria, by Damascus, all the way to the Gaza Strip, close to the wilderness that Israel went through. And this is all land that the Lord said he was going to give to Israel. Go ahead and finish that, brother.
And Admah and Zeboim, even unto Lasha. These are the sons of Ham, after their families, after their tongues, in their countries, and in their nations.
So these are all the children of Ham. But the main one here that we looking at is Nimrod. So let's go right into Genesis chapter 11. Right into it and pick it up at verse 1.
And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech.
So now everybody spoke the same language. You hear people talking about you got to speak Hebrew, but everybody was of one language and one speech. Even before that, men began to call on the name of the Lord in the days of Seth and his children. But there wasn't no Hebrews around at that time. It wasn't no Israelites around at that time. Terah and Abraham wasn't around at that time. So if men began to call on the name of the Lord in the days of Seth, then what's his name? It can't be what it is in the Hebrew. If you got to speak his original name, it can't be that, because the Hebrew is not the original language. We're going to show you. Go ahead and read, brother.
Verse 2. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, Go to, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven.
Say, look, we're going to build us a city and a tower whose top going to reach unto heaven. Now, if there's a tower whose top reach unto heaven, where can you see it from? Every place you go, you can always look back to that tower. See, this is what they wanted to do. They wanted to cut God out the equation. They wanted to cut God all the way out the equation so they could take over this earth, like people have been trying to do since that time, is take over this earth. So they always trying to take God out of the equation. Don't you know that it's a law, not just here in America, but in Canada and some places in South America, Mexico, and in Western Europe, that you have to let the homosexuals have that your children. You have to. Because if you don't, you possibly go to jail. They fighting tooth and nail in Canada right now. I don't think they're going to win. And America just gave up. But it's law. And the Sodomites, they got a proud look now. They got a proud look, like you can't stop us from doing nothing. Can you imagine that? But that is because Israel didn't do their job. But let's get back to the lesson. What verse we at, brother?
We at verse 4.
Verse 4, come on.
I'm going to start at the top. And they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven. And let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth.
Go ahead.
And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower.
Now the Lord came down and he saw this thing, because you know those angels, those holy angels, they be reporting. And those fallen angels, they be accusing. So the Lord said, let me go down here and see what's going on. So he came and he looked at it. Go ahead.
Which the children of men builded. And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one.
He said the people is one. Not they are one. He said they is one. They have one agenda. They have one mind. They have one goal in mind. That they're going to take over this earth from God and they're going to do what they want to do. And this thing has not died yet. Come on, my brother.
And the Lord said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language, and this they begin to do.
They have all one language?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, and they do what?
And they begin to do, and now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do.
Because they all got one language, they all got one mindset, they all got this one evil set in their mind to do. He said, and if we don't stop them right now, they, you know, because man was created to become God. Man got power. The only reason why he can't exercise all his power is because he don't want to use that God that's supposed to be in him. That mind of God that's supposed to be, he don't want to use it. So then it's turned off right now. That's what the Lord did to Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. He said, you might have to turn something off, or else they're going to become God. And with that evil mind they got, we ain't going to be able to stop them. So I got to turn something off. Don't you know you only use 10% of your brain?
Yes, sir.
Just imagine if you use the whole 100% of it. Just imagine. Some people get to use 12 or 15%. They call them geniuses. You know? But then they know how to get rid of them. Give them all kind of drugs. Let them get high. Believe me, I know. Because my IQ test was so high, they was like, oh, we got to get this boy some drugs. Now I'm so stupid, I don't know nothing. I be talking to my kids like I used to know that. But anyway, I'm being serious though. Anyway, go ahead and read, man.
Verse 7. Let us go down and there confound their language.
So we're going to confuse the language. Go ahead.
That they may not understand one another's speech.
So if they can't understand one another's speech, then they all still can talk, but they all speak another language. They can't understand one another now. So now the mindset changed. Well, what's going on with you, man? What you talking about? This dude crazy, man. Hey, look, let's get out of here. So that's how the Lord scattered them. But they all didn't speak the same language no more. And there still wasn't no Hebrews around. First one was called Hebrew was Abraham. He wasn't even thought about it this time. Not even. So if you believe that you got to speak Hebrew to call on the name of the Lord, you don't even understand the book of Genesis. You don't even understand the first book. So you might as well stay out the rest of them. Get to understand this one. This is the beginning. How you gonna start in the middle? It's like you come in the movie theater, you done paid $15 for the movie ticket, and you come in and have the movie over with. I want my money back. You should have told me to have the movie was over with. Get your money back. Why spend your money for that which is not bread? Where we at, brother?
Verse 8.
Let's go.
So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city.
So now they left off to build this city and this tower. But don't you know, they've been trying to finish this tower for a long time. If you look, just look it up. There's a pyramid on every continent of the earth. Every continent of the earth has pyramids. Every one. Because they got scattered, but they always trying to finish that tower. But they can't go no farther than they got. They don't know how to do the rest of it. They don't know how to finish it. Because they can't. The Lord he didn't just change the language. He took that thought that they had, the whole thing, he took it out of there. You ain't finna do this. So they don't know how, they build skyscrapers, but they can only go so far. They can only go so far. They can't get them to heaven, but they're still trying to build up Babylon though. They're still trying to do it. But yes, these pyramids, these are the unfinished versions of that tower that they was building. It's one on every continent of the earth, every continent. So sometimes it's more than one on a continent. But they got scattered. They were still trying to finish building that tower because they had one mind. But the Lord wouldn't allow them to do it. But now, did you read verse 9?
This is verse 9 right here.
Go ahead, brother.
Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth, and from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth.
So now the Lord, he confounded the language, he confused the language, so they sounded like everybody sounded they was babbling to each other. So they separated. If I don't understand you, I'm getting away from you. It's like somebody was talking to me a few weeks back. I couldn't understand nothing they were saying. I was in the grocery store or something. I said, let me get away from this person because I don't know what they intend to do because I don't understand what they're saying. I don't understand. How I know what they're getting ready to do? They could be telling me they're getting ready to kill me. Don't you get angry when somebody come here from another country and they be speaking some language that you don't understand? And then you be at work and you be like, hey, look, speak English. Y'all know y'all do.
Yes.
Especially y'all sisters. Y'all be getting mad, hey, I don't know what you're talking about. It's the truth, though. Anyway, we're going to go into this Zondervan's Bible dictionary, and we're gonna read under Ham, because this is Noah's youngest son. This is who Nimrod came out of. We're going to read who these Hamites are. I hope the mark is still in there, because I dropped the books and some of the markers came out. This is Zondervan's Bible dictionary. This is under Ham.
Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood.
Uh-huh.
And one of the 8 persons to live through the flood.
That coincides with the Bible. Go ahead.
He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes.
So he became the father of the dark races, not the Negroes, though. So stop saying that you're African. Stop calling yourself an African American. When they first came out with that term, some of my coworkers came to me and said, well, what you want to be called? An African American or black? I said, I'm an American. I was born here. This you call me an American, or you call me by my name. Don't be calling me no color, because Negro is a color too. It's just black in another language.
Mm-hmm. Keep it plain.
But he said he's a progenitor, which means the father or the sire of the dark races, but not the Negroes. Go ahead.
But the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites.
The real Libyans, they was Hamites, not the ones you see over there now. Those are Arabs. The real Egyptians was Hamites, dark people. But the ones you see over there now, they are Arabs. They've been over there since 7-something BC. They dark people. The original people, they dark people. Any more?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
In Genesis, the 10th chapter, verse 6 through 20, his indecency, when his father lay drunken, brought a curse upon Canaan.
His indecency. So that's why I said he didn't accidentally look upon his father's nakedness. He was doing some extra stuff. His brother should have beat him down. That's what should have happened. But go ahead.
A city of the Zuzim, east of the Jordan. This is not the same word as the son of Noah. The descendants of the original Ham. These just are all the other titles of Ham. The other definitions, sorry. In these passages, Ham is used as another name for Egypt as representing Ham's principal descendants.
Okay. It's used as another name for Egypt, but still, they came out of Ham too. The Egyptians came out of Ham. The Ethiopians. All those people, the Sidonians. Sodom and Gomorrah. Which you can't find where it was. The Lord destroyed that place. You can't even find where it used to be at. But all these people, these was Hamites, dark people. And Ham was their father. That's why we call them Hamites. So Nimrod came out of Ham, and he the one started all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So now, let's go into Psalms, the 2nd chapter, because I want to show you exactly what was on their mind. And this thing is even still prevalent today. I'm going to show you that, though, in a few minutes. But Psalms chapter 2. Is that thing on high? Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
That thing giving me the flux. Psalms chapter 2, and we're going to start reading at verse 1. Psalms chapter 2 and verse 1. What'd he say?
Why do the heathen rage?
Now, heathen just mean nations. He said, but why do they rage? Go ahead.
And the people imagine a vain thing.
And they got in their mind something they can't accomplish, just like they had at the Tower of Babel. They can't accomplish it. They imagine a vain thing. Go ahead.
The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and his anointed.
Against the Lord and against his anointed, against the Messiah. They still doing it right now. This is what mindset they had at the Tower of Babel. They gonna decide how to get rid of God. Let's go, brother.
Saying, let us break their bands asunder.
This is what connects us to God. Let us break their bands asunder in half. Go ahead.
And cast away their cords from us.
We don't want to have nothing to do with God no more. We're going to cast his cords away from us. We're going to get rid of his word. We're going to burn the books. We're going to crucify those that keep the Sabbath. Go ahead.
For he that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision.
He's going to have them in confusion. Because they can't stop him. They thinking they can stop him. They so crazy that when he returns, they're going to turn their weapons to fight him. And that's the most foolish thing you could do. Fight somebody that's undefeatable. It's like my youngest granddaughter getting in the ring with Mike Tyson thinking she, that is something that you can't even fathom, Come on, brother.
Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure.
Oh, the Lord got wrath and he displeased. So he going to speak to them in his wrath. How you speak to somebody in your wrath? That's pain. That is pain. Go ahead, brother.
Yet have I set my kingdom upon my holy hill in Zion. I will declare the decree. The Lord hath said unto me, thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee.
He said, so I'm going to set my kingdom on my holy hill of Zion, on the earth. He said, because I'm going to have y'all in the region. Y'all can't stop me. He said, because the Lord has said to me, thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee. Yes, you can't stop me. He tell you that in Isaiah. Like I close the heavens with blackness. See, I'm the one that put the elements in the firmament of heaven. I did all this. And who can contend with me? Give me the verse.
8.
Let's go.
Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession.
He's going to give it all to him. Come on, brother.
Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel.
Look, this is what the Lord is going to do. This is what he's going to do to these people. He's going to break them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Like take a rod of iron and hit a vase and see what happened to it. It's going to be in so many little pieces that you ain't even be able to sweep them up. Go ahead.
10. Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings.
Be wise, ye kings. Be wise. Because, see, the Lord, he even hold the breath of life. So be wise, ye kings. Come on.
Be instructed, ye judges of the earth.
Ye judges of the earth. He talking to everybody, all the nations. Be instructed now. Pay attention to my word. Listen to my prophets. Listen to my priests. Come on.
Serve the Lord with fear and rejoice with trembling.
How you supposed to do it?
Serve the Lord with fear.
You're supposed to serve the Lord with fear and do what?
And rejoice with trembling.
And you're supposed to rejoice with trembling. Do you understand what rejoicing with trembling is? It's like the Lord feast days coming up. But these are serious days. These are solemn assemblies. So we're supposed to rejoice, but we're supposed to make sure that we ain't doing nothing outside of the boundaries of God. Yeah, you're supposed to do your pleasures, right? But them pleasures better not be some that don't equate with what God called pleasure. They better be tantamount with what God agreed with. See, a lot of people think, oh, I can do whatever because the Lord said, do your pleasures. He told you that in Isaiah too. Look, you can do your pleasures on the Sabbath. Just make sure they what I deem for you to do on the Sabbath. Your pleasures can't be your own. They got to be the Lord's pleasures. This is what he's talking about. It got to be the Lord's pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Not your wicked pleasures, because I know just like all my thoughts wicked, all y'all thoughts wicked.
He be playing.
I can't find no holy thoughts. I be hitting myself in the head sometimes, be cussing myself out. My kids be laughing. There you go again. Because I'm trying to get into the kingdom, man. And when I mess up, I be upset. And it's just, not that I'm doing anything, it's just the thoughts that I have. Because that got to change. Let's go.
12. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and ye perish from the way.
Now they talking about you ain't got to deal with Jesus. They said, kiss the Son, this is the Son of God, lest he be angry, and you perish. And you perish while you're going through this life. But not the first death. Everybody might get that coming unless they live to the Lord come. But it said, lest you perish in the way, in this journey that's supposed to be righteous. But if it's not righteous, you might perish forever. Come again.
Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and ye perish from the way, when his wrath is kindled but a little.
Just a little bit. Come on.
Blessed are all they that put their trust in him.
So those that put their trust in the Messiah, the Lord Jesus, who's called the Christ, they are blessed. But what about those that don't? Those that say that, there ain't no power from the sky. Call him JC, like he a rapper or something. Tell you that you ain't got to keep his commandments. Tell you all you got to do is pray over the pig and the catfish. All these people. In Isaiah 66 and 65, he said he going to kill all them together. He going to throw them all in the lake of fire together. That's good, though. But this is what they had in their mind at the Tower of Babel. Let's continue. Y'all still with me? Okay. I thought I heard some of y'all fall asleep. So, can you hear somebody fall asleep? I told you I used to be smart. It ain't all gone. But we're going to go into Encyclopedia Britannica, Volume 3, page 415 to 16. And we're going to show you that this same idea they had at the Tower of Babel, and what we just read about in Psalms, the 2nd chapter, is they still have the same idea today. So this Encyclopedia Britannica, Volume 3, page 415 to 416, this is under death of God. Because they plan on getting rid of God now. And this took place in the 60s. That wasn't that long ago. Some of y'all young people might think it was a long time ago, but that wasn't a long time ago. To me, it was just like 2 weeks ago. But this is under the death of God. Go ahead.
Radical Christian, mainly Protestant, theological school that arose in the U.S. during the 1960s, evoking extraordinary publicity, response, and controversy. Although thinkers of many varied viewpoints have been grouped within this school, basic to practically all of them is the conviction that belief in God is impossible or meaningless.
But wait a minute. It said they was Protestants, didn't it?
Yes, sir.
What is a Protestant? They Catholics. So the Protestant movement, they didn't have any problem with the doctrine of Catholicism, but what they had was a problem with the infallibility of who they call Papa. They had a problem with that. Is that he's a man, when he goes to the washroom like everybody else, and he don't live forever, so he can't be infallible. So they had a problem with that, but the doctrine is the same. It's impossible to believe in what they say, to believe in God. These supposed to be religious people, but anyway, go ahead, brother.
Or meaningless in the modern world.
Meaningless?
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I hear these young brothers and some of these young sisters saying this right now today. It's meaningless to believe in God. God ain't never did nothing for you before. Don't think he don't do nothing for you now. What they don't know is he ain't going to do nothing for you because you won't do what he say. Your boss won't pay you for doing a job you didn't do. What makes you think you can still go up to the paymaster and get paid and you didn't do nothing? They're going to be like, man, we just was waiting to the end of the shift to tell you that you're not to come back here. You ain't getting nothing. Same way with the Lord, you ain't getting nothing. He ain't going to help you. People think the Lord going to bless them anyway, even though they won't do nothing he said. I'm talking about people that know the truth. That know the truth. And they tell me, oh, the Lord going to bless me anyway. Okay. I guess the lake of fire is a blessing to some. If that's what you want. Let's go.
Belief in God is impossible or meaningless in the modern world, and that man's fulfillment is to be found in the secular life of this world.
So, it's to be found in money, in pleasures, the secular life. That's what man. They say that's what man's fulfilled. This comes from religious people, supposedly religious people. That's why I tell people, I'm not religious, unless it come to football. I'm religious about football. That's about it. But I'm not religious. I fear God. That ain't got nothing to do with religion. Nothing. So, but these are so-called religious people. Go ahead.
William Hamilton held that the absence or death of God made it.
Come on, brother. You didn't. That ain't what it said.
Yes, sir. William Hamilton held that the absence or death of God made it possible for men to assume full responsibility and activity in the work and love of this world.
Whoa. So the death of God makes it so that we can do whatever we want to do. So we can be happy. We got to kill God. That's what they're going to be preaching tomorrow. The same thing. This is the prosperity ministry. Cuff Your Dollar going to be preaching the same thing. Top Dollar Jake's going to be preaching the same thing. We got to get rid of God so that we can be happy. Reverend Ike was preaching the same thing in the 60s and the 70s. When I was just a little boy, he was preaching the same thing. We got to kill God. Because he was one of them people. And they saying that they still trying to teach this right now today. We got to kill God. That's why this homosexual thing is so big now. Because they done brought in this, this atheist thing. And they say they don't serve God. Yes, they do. They do serve God. It's just not the true and living God.
Yes, sir.
They serve their own God. We had to smash them. I think it was me. I don't know if Brother Tripp was with us. I know it was me and Brother Tyrone and Brother Simeon. But y'all probably don't know none of them. But anyway, they had this big meeting on the north side over here at this library on, Lowry? And they sitting there smashing God. I said, where y'all get all this information from? The guy that was orchestrating the whole thing. I said, where you get your information from? He said, I used to be a Jehovah's Witness. Why he say that? I said, see, I got you now. I must have went that Bible and cut him to pieces. I said, man, Jehovah's Witnesses don't believe in God. So how is their information valid? Then I went to show them about the God that they did serve. I showed them the gods of Egypt that they were serving, calling themselves atheists. These are gods y'all serve, though. So they tried to reason with me. Well, see, the laws of God are too what they call it restricting, too restrictive. We believe in you shouldn't steal and you shouldn't lie. So wait a minute, you shouldn't steal and you shouldn't lie. I said, aren't those the commandments? Well, no, no. Let's read it. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false. I said, there it is right there. I said, so you want to throw the one away that say thou should not commit adultery, right? That's the one you want to throw away. And the one that say you're supposed to honor your parents, you want to throw that away. But don't steal from me and don't lie to me. They want to get rid of, because I told them, I said, because y'all homosexuals and lesbians, I said, that's why y'all want to get rid of thou should not commit adultery. Because you know what all is under thou should not commit adultery? That you can't be a homosexual, that you can't get off into bestiality, that you can't deal with people in your family. All that stuff fall under that. And they don't want to deal with it. But they'll keep the ones that they like. I said, y'all ain't nothing but some Catholics. Who y'all think y'all fooling? It's just like the Germans in World War II. They said they was atheists. But their symbol was the symbol of the Aryan God. Mm-hmm. That swastika, symbol of the Aryan God. They just turned it around, trying to fool people. You ain't fooling nobody. Anyway,
keep it playing.
I done got off into something else, I guess.
We're still on the death of God.
The death of God, though. Go ahead, brother.
me start that over. William Hamilton held that the absence or death of God made it possible for men to assume full responsibility and activity in the work and love of this world, freed from dependence on a providential Father in heaven.
Wow. Free from dependence on God. You know, we don't need you no more. Go ahead, brother.
By the 1970s, the term death of God had fallen into disuse, but its essential drives and concerns continued in small circles of self-styled radical theologians.
Wow. The theologians, these are the ones that drive religion. So they still driving that thing, the death of God. We got to get rid of God. They still driving it. But see, to the modern, to the regular world, you know, the people that's not in the know, they start following this thing, not even knowing what it is. But just because you blindly follow something don't mean you're not guilty. It's just like this kid ran to see a fight and got killed in the process because you ain't innocent. Why you run to see a fight unless you're going to break it up? Anyway, we done with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Gee whiz, that ain't even that many scriptures. This is going to be a long lesson. I need to stop talking so much. Anyway, so let's go into Exodus, the 20th chapter. Exodus chapter 20. I got Jeremiah. Jeremiah, you sure? He right, Jeremiah the 7th chapter. Jeremiah chapter 7. That's why I got this pen here to keep myself, you know, but I didn't use it. Jeremiah chapter 7. I said Exodus 20, right? That's way away from, I didn't cut out half the lesson. Jeremiah 7 and we're going to take a look at these Israelites. 7 and verse 1. Jeremiah 7 and verse 1. Let's go.
The word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, stand in the gate of the Lord's house and proclaim there this word, and say, hear the word of the Lord, all ye of Judah, that enter in at these gates to worship the Lord.
So look, they come to the house of the Lord to worship. He said, but hear these words. Go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, amend your ways and your doings.
Amend, that means to repair. Say, amend your ways and your doings. Come on.
And I will cause you to dwell in this place. Trust ye not in lying words.
Don't trust in lying words. Don't trust in them guys that's telling you that you ain't got to keep the commandments of God, telling you that ain't no power from the sky. Don't trust in these guys. You know, one guy that used to always say it wasn't no power from the sky. He said, I know my Jesus. All these 40-something, 50-something years later, now he calling on Jesus. Now ain't nothing wrong with that because the Lord let him live that long. Mm-hmm. But see, he just started some stuff. He ain't going to get away scot-free. You know, the Lord might let him get salvation, but he ain't going to get away scot-free. The Lord going to put some hurt on him. But come on, brother.
The beginning of 4. Trust ye not in lying words, saying, the temple of the Lord, the temple of the Lord, the temple of the Lord are these. Mm-hmm. For if ye thoroughly amend your ways and your doings.
He said, thoroughly amend your ways?
Yes, sir.
That means completely. Look at all of it. Examine yourself. If you thoroughly amend your ways, come on.
And your doings, if ye thoroughly execute judgment between a man and his neighbor, if ye oppress not the stranger,
if you oppress not the stranger,
the fatherless, and the widow.
So you can't oppress none of these people. Not the stranger, not the fatherless, not the widow. You can't oppress them. But you have some jakes doing this. Not just oppressing the stranger, but oppressing the widow. And not looking out for the fatherless. Come on, brother.
And shed not innocent blood in this place. Neither walk after other gods to your hurt.
Neither walk after other gods to their what?
To your hurt.
To your hurt. So you mean the Lord will hurt you for walking after other gods?
Yes, sir.
Come on.
Then will I call you to dwell in this place, in the land that I gave to your fathers forever and ever.
He said, then, if you thoroughly amend your ways, I called you to stay in this land, in your own country that I gave to your fathers. He said, forever and ever. That's all the way until the Lord comes.
Yes, sir.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine that? All this heartache and pain we wouldn't have went through. Some of us would still be over here because we had to teach. But we wouldn't have got over here the way we got over here. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine that? Not ever having none of this heartache and pain? Go ahead and read, brother.
Verse 8. Behold, ye trust in lying words that cannot profit. Mm-hmm. Will ye steal, murder, and commit adultery?
You gonna do all this and still call yourself a servant of God? Come on.
And swear falsely and burn incense unto Baal.
And burn incense unto Baal. That's another God.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
And walk after other gods whom ye know not.
You don't even understand these gods you serve. I mean, it's just like when I did the lesson about Christmas and I showed you Molech and all this stuff. You sacrifice your children to these guys, but you don't even understand this stuff. But you're doing it. You don't even know these guys. Come on.
Verse 10. And come and stand before me in this house, which is called by my name, and say. And
they always want to put the name of Jesus on they false edifices, they false churches, or the name of Israel. You know, they will always want to put that on their false churches. Always. And they're going to come and stand and say they belong to God. Go ahead, brother.
And say, we are delivered to do all these abominations.
Because we didn't get rid of God. Go ahead.
This house, which is called by my name, become a den of robbers in your eyes. Mm-hmm. Behold, even I have seen it, said the Lord.
Lord said, I've seen it. Just like he saw what they were doing at the Tower of Babel, he said, I see this, and you're not going to get away with it. Come on.
But go ye now unto my place, which was in Shiloh, where I set my name at the first.
So the northern kingdom was called Israel. He said, go and look at Shiloh, where I set my name at the first. It was called the kingdom of Israel. He said, go up there and look. Come on.
And see what I did to it for the wickedness of my people Israel.
He said, look, see what I did for the wickedness of my people Israel. This is what I would do to my own people. So can you imagine the people that's not his, what he's going to do to them? Ooh. He said, but go and look what happened to the 9 tribes. Mm-hmm. The kingdom was called by my name, Israel. And see what I did to my people. Come on.
13. And now, because ye have done all these works, said the Lord, and I spake unto you, rising up early and speaking, but ye heard not, and I called you, but ye answered not. Therefore will I do unto this house, which is called by my name, wherein ye trust, and unto the place which I gave to you and to your fathers, as I have done to Shiloh.
He said, the same thing I did to the 9 tribes, I'm doing to the last 3 tribes. I'm going to scatter y'all too. Because Jerusalem is the city of God. And they did all kind of foul things there. And the land of Judah. He said, you're not getting away with it. I'm going to do the same thing to you that I did to them. Give me the verse.
15.
Let's go.
And I will cast you out of my sight, as I have cast out all your brethren, even the whole seed of Ephraim.
He said, look, I'm going to cast you out of my sight. That means he's going to cast you out of the land of Israel. Go ahead.
Therefore, pray not thou for this people, neither lift up cry nor prayer for them.
He told Jeremiah, don't you even pray for this people. Don't even cry for them. Because I'm going to put some hurt on them. Let's go.
Neither make intercession to me, for I will not hear thee.
He said, I will not hear your prayers. Don't even make intercession for these people. Don't make sacrifice of nothing for these people. Because I'm going to scatter them. Because it's been set. I said this has been set all the way in Deuteronomy. Mm-hmm. He warned them. He said, rising up early and speaking. He said, but y'all refused to hear me. Where we at?
17.
Let's go.
Seest thou not what they do in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem? The children gather wood, and the fathers kindle the fire, and the women knead their dough.
So they had the whole family into this thing here. Say the children, they gather the wood, the father build the fire, and the women, they kneading the dough. They getting it ready getting cakes ready. What they doing, brother?
To make cakes to the Queen of Heaven.
To the who?
Queen of Heaven.
To the Queen of Heaven. Y'all got the members just pulled up back there? Make sure you put it in the video. I apologize to y'all sitting here. I didn't have time to get it set up. But to the Queen of Heaven.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see this video online or you get a copy of the DVD, you're gonna see this Queen of Heaven. Go ahead.
And to pour out drink offerings unto other gods, that they may provoke me to anger.
This stuff provoked the Lord to anger. It provokes him to anger when you serve other gods. Because he told you in Exodus, we're going to read it. We're going to read it. I ain't going to tell you. But he told you this. You finished with that?
Nope. Yeah, that was 17. Oh, we got to skip.
Supposed to be reading all the way to 20, right?
We're going to 20, right. 19. Do they provoke me to anger, said the Lord? Do they not provoke themselves to the confusion of their own faces?
The same thing they did to the Tower of Babel. They provoked themselves to confusion. But let's go.
Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, behold, mine anger and my fury shall be poured out upon this place, upon man and upon beast, and upon the trees of the field, and upon the fruit of the ground, and it shall burn and shall not be quenched.
So it's going to burn and not be quenched. He said, my anger, my fury is going to be poured out, not just on man, but on beast. The animals had to suffer for us because of us. Look, and he said the trees, the vegetation, he's going to destroy all that because of man, because it's Israelite. Because they refuse to hear the word of God. They serve these other gods that they didn't even understand the meaning of what they was doing, but it just was pleasing to the flesh. Because this serving some of these gods, these false gods, is real pleasing to the flesh. Real pleasing. But see, for a moment of pleasure, you're going to die forever. For all time. But let's go into Jeremiah the 44th chapter. Let's see what they said to the Lord. These Israelites, these are rough people. That's why when Artaxerxes sent them back to rebuild the city, the other people that was round about said, do you know who these people are? They don't even respect their own God. And he is the true God. They made him leave. But Jeremiah the 44th chapter. In verse 1. Verse 1, go ahead.
The word that came to Jeremiah concerning all the Jews which dwell in the land of Egypt, which dwell at Migdol and at Taphnes and at Noph and in the country of Pathros, saying.
Now look, this after the Lord got rid of them, because they didn't listen to him, he got rid of them. So some of them went down to Egypt. So he got a word for them too, because they still wanted to serve pagan gods. But come on.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel. Ye have seen all the evil that I have brought upon Jerusalem, and upon all the cities of Judah. And behold, this day there are desolation. They are a desolation, and no man dwelleth therein.
Did he say he was going to do that?
Yes, sir.
We just read he said he was going to do it, right?
Yep.
Let's go.
Because of their wickedness which they have committed to provoke me to anger. In that they went to burn incense and to serve other gods, whom they knew not.
Whom they knew not. That means you don't even understand. Go ahead.
Neither they, ye, nor your fathers.
So y'all still don't understand it. But you provoke me to anger with this stuff. Go ahead.
Howbeit, I sent unto you all my servants the prophets, rising early and sending them, saying, oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate.
Said, please don't do this thing that I hate. Oh, don't do it. Because I don't want to have to hurt you. Don't do it. Go ahead.
But they hearken not, nor incline their ear to turn from their wickedness, to burn no incense unto other gods.
So they ignored the Lord. They just ignored him, like he wasn't even God. Go ahead.
Wherefore my fury and mine anger was poured forth, and was kindled in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, and they are wasted and desolate as at this day.
Go ahead, brother.
Therefore, now thus saith the Lord, the God of hosts, the God of Israel, wherefore commit ye this great evil against your souls?
Say, look, why did you commit this great evil against your own souls? Against yourself. You ain't hurting me, but you committing this against your own souls because I'm going to hurt you. He told them that. Go ahead, brother.
To cut off from you man and woman, child and suckling out of Judah.
Wow.
To leave you none to remain. In that ye provoke me unto wrath with the works of your hands, burning incense unto other gods in the land of Egypt, whither ye be gone to dwell.
Say, look, you down in Egypt, you still burning incense to other gods. But I hurt you for this already, and you still gonna do it? What? This is like somebody that's brain dead. I can't think of nothing. They got to be brain dead because they act like they can't feel no pain. That's something wrong with the brain. That's their conscience being seared with a hot iron, like I said in 1 Timothy the 4th chapter. Go ahead, brother.
That ye might cut yourselves off, and that ye might be a curse and a reproach among all the nations of the earth.
Say, look, you're a curse and a reproach. That means a shameful thing among all the nations of the earth, because you scattered among all the nations of the earth, but now they don't even want you nowhere closer near them. They don't want you coming in their stores. They don't want you living in their neighborhoods. They don't want you buying their cars. They don't want you buying they clothes. They don't, this one guy, Tommy somebody, he said, I don't want y'all buying none of my clothes. Sodomite. But
keep it playing.
The sodomites get more respect than we get, though.
Man.
Give me the verse, brother.
Verse 9.
Uh-huh.
Have ye forgotten the wickedness of your fathers, and the wickedness of the kings of Judah, and the wickedness of their wives, and your own wickedness, and the wickedness of your wives, which they have committed in the land of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem?
Because it said, look, the children gathered the sticks, the wood, the father built the fire, and the women, they need the dough, right?
Yes,
Said,
sir.
have y'all forgotten about all this stuff? That y'all was baking cakes to the queen of heaven? Go ahead, brother.
Verse 10. They are not humbled, even unto this day. Neither have they feared, nor walked in my law, nor in my statutes, that I set before you and before your fathers.
Come on.
Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, behold, I will set my face against you for evil.
He gonna do what?
Set his face against you for evil.
The Lord gonna set his face against you for evil. That means that the Lord is gonna send some more evil on you. Come on.
And to cut off all Judah. And I will take the remnant of Judah that have set their faces to go into the land of Egypt to sojourn there, and they shall all be consumed.
They're going to be consumed too. Because you think you done got away from me, but I'm God over the whole earth. The whole earth. He's not just the God of Israel. He's the God of the whole earth. But the thing about it is, those that's going to be saved, those that's going to get salvation, they all going to be named Israel. They all going to be named after him. So that's why he's the God of Israel. The Israel is the children of God. Whatever nation they might come out of, they are the children of God. So he is the God of Israel. He's the father of his children, but he's the God over the whole earth. So going down to Egypt is not going to help you. In fact, did you forget that he destroyed Egypt to bring you out?
Man.
Did you forget about that? Let's go.
And they shall all be consumed, and fall in the land of Egypt. They shall even be consumed by the sword and by the famine.
So every which way the Lord can deal with you. Come on.
They shall die, from the least even unto the greatest, by the sword and by the famine. And they shall be an execration, and they shall be an execration and an astonishment and a curse and a reproach.
Say, look, they're going to be something vile. Execration, they're going to be something filthy. They're going to be something that people, give the gas face to. Like I can't stand these people. A reproach. This is because they refuse to keep his law. They didn't say they didn't keep his law. But nowadays they want to tell you that you ain't got to keep his law. Why would he do all this to these people for not keeping his law, and then all of a sudden you don't have to keep it? But go ahead, brother.
13. For I will punish them that dwell in the land of Egypt, as I have punished Jerusalem, by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence.
So he's going to do it all kind of ways. Come on.
So that none of the remnant of Judah, which are gone into the land of Egypt to sojourn there, shall escape or remain, that they should return into the land of Judah.
Go ahead, but he gonna have a little mercy. Go ahead and read.
To the which they have a desire to return to dwell there. for none shall return, but such as shall escape.
So some going to escape from this thing because he has a good reason for that, though. He has a reason for that because he can't destroy all of them because remember the Messiah got to come to his people.
Yes, sir.
So he can't destroy all of them. Where we at?
15.
Go ahead.
Then all the men which knew that their wives had burned incense unto other gods, and all the women that stood by, a great multitude, even all the people that dwelt in the land of Egypt in Pathros, answered Jeremiah, saying.
Now look, this is their reply to God. They answered Jeremiah, but he's speaking in, by the word of God. So this is their reply to God. They tell Jeremiah what?
As for the word that thou hast spoken unto us in the name of the Lord, we will not hearken unto thee.
We're not going to listen to none of that, man. We don't want to hear that. That's what they telling me right now today. We don't want to hear that God stuff. We ain't got no time for that. Except when trouble come on them, then they be calling me, hey, well, what about this here? I ain't got no conversation for you, man. I really don't. You know where I be at on Saturdays? If you want to get some understanding, come on in there. Other than that, I ain't got no conversation for you. Go ahead, bro.
17. But we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth.
So look, we're going to certainly do what we want to do. Whatever we say, that's what we're going to do. We don't want to hear that God stuff. God, we ain't got nothing to do with God, and he ain't got nothing to do with us. This doctrine have not died. Didn't we just read it in the encyclopedia? This doctrine has not died. But look who started the doctrine. The people of God. His own people started this doctrine. But really, Nimrod, he the one came up with it. That was it? We got to skip down from here, right?
No, yep, but hold on, let me finish 17.
Finish 17, go ahead.
But we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth to burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven.
To burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven. Go ahead.
And to pour out drink offerings unto her, as we have done, we and our fathers, our kings, and our princes in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem.
So we ain't going to stop. And if you want to know what the Queen of Heaven looked like, just go pull up a picture of the Statue of Liberty. Just go pull up a picture of who they call the Virgin Mary. Pull that up. There's another one that sits on the throne in downtown Chicago, and on the superscription say the Queen of Heaven, and it's still the Statue of Liberty. It's the Queen. This is who they worship, the Queen of Heaven. But you ain't gonna find in here where God got no queen. If he had a queen, he wouldn't have had to create man, now would he? He would have had a way to get him some children. But he created man to be his children.
Yes, sir.
So skip down to verse 25.
Let me finish the end of 17.
Man.
For then had we plenty of victuals and were well and saw no evil.
Say, look, when they were serving the Queen of Heaven, everything was good.
Everything was positive.
But how did they end up in Egypt, though? And how did so many of them die if it was so good? But this is still the same doctrine. We even read this in the encyclopedia. This doctrine of pleasing ourselves and not pleasing God. We got to get as a creation. We have got to get away from that. We have got to. We got to start putting people in the White House that, oh my goodness. I'm finna be 53 years old, right? I just seen some. I remember when Richard Nixon was the president. Woo, my goodness. You know, Gerald Ford and Jimmy Carter and Ronald Reagan. Ooh, my goodness. What an evil on man. And it has not gotten any better. It has not got, and then everybody was so happy about Mr. Obama, right? Everybody was so happy about Mr. Obama. But he gave the homosexuals power.
Right. He
gave them so much power. They already had power. He gave them so much power that even the people in the government got to bow down. And they can't change the laws back to what they were. They be trying, but you just can't do it. You just can't do it because the law of the Medes and the Persians cannot be changed. So, where we at again?
We're skipping down to 25.
We're skipping down to verse 25. I thought you already read that, man. You talk too much, man. Go on and read it.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, saying, Ye and your wives have both spoken with your mouths and fulfilled with your hands, saying, We will surely perform our vows that we have vowed, to burn incense to the Queen of heaven and to pour out drink offerings unto her.
So this is what you said you was going to do? Okay, I'm going to let you go ahead and do it. Come on.
Ye will surely accomplish your vows and surely perform your vows. Therefore, hear ye the word of the Lord, all Judah that dwell in the land of Egypt. Behold, I have sworn by my great name, saith the Lord, that my name shall no more be named in the mouth of any man of Judah in all the land of Egypt, saying, The Lord God liveth.
Say, look, I'm not going to allow you to say this no more. I'm going to scatter you so bad. I'm going to hurt you so bad that the name of Israel is going to be forgotten. In fact, won't nobody even know that you're an Israelite. I'm going to make you be forgotten. The Lord is going to do this. That's written. We're not going to read it, but that is written just like that. That he going to make the name of Israel be forgotten. Nobody going to call you Israel no more. It's just in these last days, somebody slapped us upside the head and we didn't woke up a little bit. That's because time getting short.
Yes,
you know. But all them years, all them hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, nobody called you Israel. And wouldn't let you say you was Israel. They will crucify you. They will burn you. And if somebody tried to help you, they'd call them a witch or a warlock or something and burn them at the stake. Talking about keeping the Sabbath on the 7th day of the week. What? Witchcraft. This is what was happening. This is what was happening. It wasn't like they was trying to conjure up. No, they wasn't doing none of that. They came up. They was trying to deal with the real word of God, and they was called witches and they killed them for that. They killed them for it. And these are people of other nations, not the Israelites. These are people that found out what was going on. It's like some people find out what's going on today, and they get ostracized from their family and stuff. But they servants of God, so they ain't moved. See, and we can't be moved. Some of us, we come into this thing, and our family wouldn't have nothing to do with us anymore. Like when I came into it, I was at war with my entire family. Didn't have any kids at the time, but with my entire family, I was at war. And I was like, y'all know me, right? So y'all know I don't care how many of y'all it is. We can get down. So I ain't talking about no physical stuff, but I'm talking about with this book. I'm used to being by myself. I'm the youngest, right? I'm used to being by myself. I'm used to having to fight for my food. I'm used to it. I'm used to my parents overlooking me. So I'm always by myself. So let's get down. They couldn't contend with that word of God, though. That's the thing. They couldn't contend with it. So when you run into that kind of thing and your family won't have nothing to do with you no more, it's okay. Because you got a spiritual family. It's those that do the will of the Father. That's your spiritual family. I'm not just somebody because they come to the Israel of God, because everybody that comes to the Israel of God ain't your spiritual family. But I'm talking about those that do the will of the Father, that love the word of God. That's your spiritual family. So you ain't got to worry about your flesh and blood family. Later for them, if they don't want to deal. But just like my family, I bet they'll know one thing. They'll know when the Passover is. They'll know when the Feast of Unleavened Bread is. They'll know when the Feast of Pentecost is. They'll know when all the high days are. They'll be calling you. Well, ain't you getting ready to keep the Passover? Ain't you getting ready to do? Well, yeah, but how you know? Don't you know you just convicted yourself? Y'all put no tree in my house no more. I still got the lights up. That means you know better than you put the lights up. If you ain't got the tree in there, what's wrong with you? Anyway, Anyway, man, let's.
Keep it plain.
I told myself I wasn't going to do all this talking today because I watched one of my lessons this morning. I was like, that's a whole lot of talking, man. And here I go. So, don't stop reading, man. Just, where you at?
Verse 27.
Verse 27. Read all the way to 30.
Okay. Behold, I will watch over them for evil and not for good. And all the men of Judah that are in the land of Egypt shall be consumed by the sword and by the famine until there be an end of them.
Go ahead.
Yet a small number that escape the sword shall return out of the land of Egypt into the land of Judah. And all the remnant of Judah that are gone into the land of Egypt to sojourn there shall know whose words shall stand, mine or theirs.
So they're going to know whose word going to stand, mine or theirs. But we see who word stood, right? The Lord.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
29. And this shall be a sign unto you, saith the Lord, that I will punish you in this place, that ye may know that my word shall surely stand against you for evil. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will give Pharaoh, Hophra, king of Egypt, into the hand of his enemies, and into the hand of them that seek his life, as I gave Zedekiah, king of Judah, into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, his enemy, and that sought his life.
So look, the Lord even let the Babylonians run down on Egypt. It made them pay tribute. Say, look, you can't get away from the Lord no matter where you go. You could have went all the way. I don't know what the country was called down in South Africa back then, before it was South Africa. I don't know what they was called. I can't remember. But even if they would have went down that far, they could have went all the way to Australia, which we don't even know what it was called back then. He still is the God of the whole earth. You can't get away. Don't you know? Over here on this continent, they found tables of the Ten Commandments. And somebody said, well, how they get them if they not Israel? I said, they had the Ten Commandments at the Tower of Babel. They were trying to get away from it. And then when Solomon became king, he had ships. Was they just sitting there? What you got ships just sitting there for? How you think he was the richest man in the world? Them ships was going places, bringing back goods, bringing back precious things. But Israel was doing their job at the time. Let me cut it short. So now, let's continue on. Just, when I go too far, just clear your throat, brother. Just clear yeah, like that. So now, that was Jeremiah 44, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're going to go into this history book. I believe it's published by Reader's Digest, called The Last 2 Million Years. We're going to read page 216. And this is under pagan rights absorbed. Pagan rights absorbed. Because all the stuff that we've been reading about these Israelites doing, this is all paganism. So it's been absorbed into what's called Christianity today, or Roman Christianity. But last 2 million years, page 216, pagan rights absorbed. Go ahead, brother.
Pagan rights absorbed. By a stroke of tactical genius.
Tactical genius? What is tactics? I'm a chess player. I use tactics to destroy my enemies. This is what you use tactics in warfare, right? By a stroke of tactical genius. Go ahead.
The church, while intolerant of pagan beliefs.
They was intolerant. This is the church. They using warfare tactics. They was intolerant of pagan beliefs. Go ahead.
Was able to harness the powerful emotions generated by pagan worship.
So they harnessed it, right? So that means they captured it.
Gathered, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They, like you harness a horse. They captured it. They controlled it. Go ahead.
Often churches were sited where temples had stood before, and many heathen festivals were added to the Christian calendar.
So many heathen festivals was added to the Christian calendar. So now these different nations, all their paganisms, all their pagan rites, they absorbed it into what they call the Christian calendar. But I thought they was intolerant. I thought that intolerant means that you have no room for it.
Right, exactly.
If you don't have no room for this, how did you absorb this into the Christian calendar? Obviously, you had plenty of room for it.
Keep it plain.
Let's go.
It say, and many heathen festivals were added to the Christian calendar. Easter, for instance.
That's a heathen festival?
Mm-hmm.
Easter is a heathen festival. It ain't got nothing to do with Jesus. It ain't got nothing to do with God. It ain't got nothing to do with anything holy. It's a heathen festival, a pagan festival. Go ahead.
A time of sacrifice and rebirth in the Christian year. Takes its name from the Norse goddess Eostra.
Eostra? Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
In whose honor rites were held every spring. She in turn was simply a northern version of the Phoenician earth mother Astarte.
So she was nothing but another version of the Phoenician. This is right above Sidon, earth mother Astarte. So make sure you put these images of Astarte and Eostra on this video.
Yes, sir.
This is who, and I made the ugly ones too, not the nice looking ones, the real ugly ones. The ones that show all the lewd sexual acts they was dealing with. Put that in the video. Because I want people to understand what it is that they dealing with when they deal with this stuff. That it's not for the kids. It's not holy. It's ungodly. It's pagan. It's from Satan.
Keep it plain.
Come on.
Earth mother Astarte, goddess of fertility.
Goddess of fertility. That's why you got a rabbit having eggs. The eggs represent, offspring. The rabbit represent fertility because I don't know, man. Rabbits just fast populate. A couple weeks ago, we seen one running down the street through the snow. I ain't never seen no rabbit on Lake Street.
No.
Just running down Lake Street, man. I asked my kids, I ain't kidding. But anyway, brother, go ahead.
Easter eggs continue an age-old tradition in which the egg is a symbol of birth.
It's a symbol of birth? Go ahead.
And cakes which were eaten to mark the festivals of Astarte and Eostra.
These cakes, they was baked to mark the festival of Astarte and Eostra. This goddess of fertility. Go ahead. These cakes
were the direct ancestors of our hot cross buns.
Those hot cross buns that you bake every year for Easter, so that y'all can have this Easter breakfast or whatever. This sunrise breakfast. So you sitting there waiting for the sun to rise, so you can worship it. And you thinking it's the S-O-N son, but no, it's the son that the son created. Because Jesus is the one that created all this that we know about, according to the Bible. So the son created the son. The S-O-N son created the S-U-N son.
Yes, sir.
But you're going to worship what's created instead of the creator.
Yes, sir.
What's wrong with you?
Keep it plain.